Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Bengt. Welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be talking about an experience that I had recently, some things that I learned from it, and really just how there's an underlying lesson that can be, taken from this, which is even in negative experiences, even in situations where you fail, if you can learn something and take knowledge out of that and extract that from that situation, so it puts you in a better position, a more knowledgeable, a more informed position moving forward, then ultimately it was a win, right? So I went to court recently. It wasn't for anything serious. It was for a speeding ticket. Now, just to give you guys kind of the rundown, the whole backstory on it, right? This was 2 years ago. It's 2023 at the time of recording this video, and I had gotten the speeding ticket in 2021. It was in the summer, pretty much exactly 2 years from right now. And I was driving home from the gym. It was like 11:45. It was almost midnight, and I got pulled over for speeding. I don't think I was speeding, maybe a little bit, but not as much as the officer had pegged me for going. So the whole encounter was just like, I was pissed off. It was midnight, bro. I'm on my way home from the gym. Like, there's literally no one else on the road. I was just pissed off. Asked the officer a bunch of questions like, bro, how do you actually know, like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? So I was a little bit in the wrong in being like, I wasn't a dick. I was just frustrated and perturbed at the fact that this guy was like busting my balls at fucking midnight when I was doing like less than 10 over the speed limit, and he's trying to tell me I was doing more than 20, and I just know that was bullshit. So the whole situation was just like, all right, this is fucking retarded. Like, whatever, dude, just fucking let me go home. I'm fucking exhausted, dude. Like, can't you see that I've had a long ass day? And he writes me the fucking ticket. I go home. Literally the next day, the same officer pulls me over because there was a police officer, not him, another one, on the side of the road. And it was like later at night, probably 9 or 10 at night, and I'm on my way to the gym again. And there's a police officer like kind of in this like graveyard area, tucked off in the corner of the road, and it's right on a corner where the speed limit changes. So it's a super ideal speed trap spot. The cops know where to fucking hang out, so they can just bag people, right? So I'm coming around the corner, I'm going the speed limit, I see the police officer, I'm like, oh, nice try, buddy. Like, there's a bunch of people coming, so I'm a nice, good Samaritan. I'm looking out for my fellow community members, right? And I flash my high beams. There's like 3 or 4 cars that are in this line of traffic that are going a little fast, and I'm like, oh shit, I should let them know. So again, driver code, you see a cop, you tip off the homies, you fucking flash the light a little bit, your high beams, right? There's 4 cars in the line. Out of the 4 cars, the last one is a fucking police officer, the same guy that pulled me over the night before. And bro, he fucking, again, flips the high beam, flips the fucking sirens and the flashes on, pulls me over. He's like, did you know that flashing your high beams at oncoming traffic is a, driving violation? I'm like, dude, are you fucking for real? Like, your buddy's right there. You know why I did it, dude. Come on. Like, what the fuck? It was just bullshit. So at that moment, I decided, I'm like, all right, this guy is just fucking for any reason, like literally just fucking with me, dude. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna plead not guilty on the speeding ticket. I'll see your ass in court. Just for wasting my fucking time, I'm gonna waste some of yours, right? And even though that's a petty thing to do, I say this as I'm driving by a fucking state trooper fucking compound. Funny. Anyways, so even though I'm being a little petty and I'm like, this guy's just being a fucking asshole, like, I'm gonna waste some of his time. Let me see if I can just, milk up a little bit of state money, make them fucking go to court and show up for it, whatever. Waste a couple hours of your life for just being a fucking douchebag. So that was my whole fucking thing. I'm like, not guilty, kept going, go to court, get a hearing, get a this, get a that. It's $100 speeding ticket, right? In hindsight, looking back at it, was it worth having that pending, looming fucking thing just in the background of my life for like 2 years? Absolutely not. However, I will say this. I'm glad that I went through and pushed it as far as it went, because I did learn some very valuable lessons. Now, the first one being, in any and all situations in which you are interacting with the law, whether it be police officers, public figures, politicians, this, that, whatever, it is ultimately 100% always going to work in your favor to just like be respectful and handle yourself like a gentleman. Even if the situation that you're in is completely fucked, it is better to be respectful and to not be the one that's getting hot, bothered, showing emotions, making threats, doing anything like that. And I'll tell you what, a month or so after I have pled not guilty to the speeding ticket, you know, I, with my business at the time, networking, doing a couple different jobs for, you know, higher up kind of people within our community, we're doing landscaping work, and so I'm, you know, maintaining properties. I'm getting tied in with all these other business owners. Some of them are, you know, ex-military, ex-police, and work for the station and know people. And I had the opportunity through one of those people. He's like, oh, you're having trouble with the speeding ticket? All right, let me take a look at it and see what I can do for you. So I literally had the opportunity to have this speeding ticket swept under the rug and nothing would have ever happened. And it made me look like a fucking dumbass, because the guy that went to the station to, you know, try and take a look at it and see if he could have it kind of just, you know, knocked off, whatever, he came back to me and he's like, Bengt, I'm sorry, dude. Like, we watched the body cam footage from the officer of the whole interaction, and you were just being a little bit too much of a, you know, you're giving him a little bit too hard of a time for us to really be like, yeah, we can't just, you know, wipe this one off. Because it's like, look, man, as much as I'd love to do you the favor and just kind of, you know, sweep it under the rug and make it disappear, because of the way you handled that interaction with the officer, like, it would make me look bad to try and just like sweep that off the fucking table for you. So I fucking blew that. If I just kept my cool, if I had just like been super respectful, there's a high chance that that speeding ticket could have just, you know, been wiped off my fucking page, my record, my file, whatever. Never would have existed, never would have happened, and my end goal would have been accomplished, right? So the lesson in that, always be respectful when you're talking to the law, and even if you are in the wrong, handle it gracefully. Don't be upset, don't be pissed off, just fucking treat them with respect. Yes sir, yes ma'am, yes officer, blah 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 blah. You know, straight to the point, speak when spoken to, conduct yourself like a gentleman, and regardless of how that event unfolds for you, the result afterwards, when you have to deal with the consequences, will ultimately be better and work in your favor, right? So just keep it cool with the law always, man. It's not worth getting hot and bothered. The second lesson that I learned in that is that by knowing the right people, the laws don't fucking apply. Especially like, not anymore, but at the time, you know, lived in a pretty small town in a rural area. Everybody knows everybody. And if you're friends with the right people, if you have connections to the right people, bro, you can make shit like that happen. You know what I mean? It's, granted, it was a speeding ticket, like it's $100 speeding ticket, but still, you know what I mean? I make one phone call, I send a text message, I shake a couple hands, and now all of a sudden you have the power to just have those things kind of taken care of for you. So the power of networking, the power of being connected with people that are in high places is very, very valuable, obviously. You know what I mean? And it also goes to show you just how corrupt and how fucking stupid, you know, our judicial system is, and small town politics and all that shit. It's all fucked. It's all popularity contest. It's all backdoor handshakes. This guy knows this guy. I can do this for you, you do this for me. Is there any money involved? All right, how do we frame this and set this up to benefit us personally? So all that shit is fucking shiesty. It's all backdoor. It's all bullshit, right? So, you know, even that's a very small level, like a speeding ticket. Bro, I know that if there was something serious that happened, I could probably call up the same people and have them also look into the same thing, or maybe, you know, have them have some sort of sway over the outcome of it, right? So that was another very important lesson that I learned, is it pays to know people. Absolutely. So now let me get to the last lesson, right? I'm going to fast forward a little bit. So the hearing that I had was the other day, and you know, at the night of the incident when I got pulled over, because I knew I was gonna fucking plead guilty and have to show up and testify for all this other bullshit, I recorded a video that night basically recalling the incident, all the details. That way I didn't look stupid when they asked me, can you tell us what happened that night? And I'm like, oh, it's been 2 years. I don't fucking remember. I knew something like that was gonna happen. So, you know, I recorded a brief summary through my perspective of what had happened that night. And I'm glad I did it, which I guess is another mini lesson, which if there's ever something serious that happens, videotape it in the moment so that you can capture exactly your recollection of how things went down. That way there's no, well, I think this, or oh, this. It's like, no, in the moment you captured it exactly how it went that time, that day. And it's in detail, it's on video, you have that to reference forever. So I go to the fucking hearing, right? And I had replayed this video, refreshed myself as what exactly was happening, what the accusations were, the speed limit zone for that road, how much I thought I was doing, how much the officer said I was doing, all the kind of minor details where if they asked me and I didn't know, I'd look stupid for even just showing up to a case and not knowing what the fuck was even going on, right? So I refreshed myself with all of that. Now let me tell you something. The case, right, is the town versus me. And the officer is not the one defending himself. It is not his story versus mine. He has a whole prosecutor behind him, right? Like someone that's defending the town on his behalf. So he doesn't say a fucking word. Because I'm like, all right, if I go to court, bro, and it's my story versus the officer's story, I know how to say this in a way where I can appeal to the judges at least empathy a little bit, so he can at least understand my situation. And at the time, it's like, bro, it's midnight, I'm on the way home from the gym, I had a long day. At the time, I was like trying to get my business off the ground, I'm financially stressed, my life is just fucking in chaos, and getting pulled over for doing a couple miles an hour over the speed limit at midnight when I'm just trying to get home was some fucking bullshit to me. Like, yeah, I might have said this, and this to the officer, but like, dude, it was it was just really a shitty day for me. And also, I don't think I was speeding enough to where it justified the treatment that I got from the officer in the first place. So that was my whole the angle that I was trying to like go into it with. Bro, the prosecutor steps up and literally after the first like 3 or 4 questions, she made the officer go up to the stand and like raise his right hand and swear. And at that moment I knew, I'm like, all right, she's got something fucking serious loaded up. Bro, they start going into, within the first 4 questions she asked, I knew that I was fucked. It was like, all right, what's your name? State your occupation. I see that you're dressed in full uniform. Do you work for this place? Blah, 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 blah. So basically confirming, I am this person. I am a police officer. I work for this police station. And then they start asking questions about what equipment do you have on board during the shift at this time, this date when you pulled over this person? It's like, I had this, and this. And did you calibrate all this equipment before the shift? Yes, I used tuning forks and this and that. So it's like, there's no possible error that could have ever happened on your end. Whatever speed limit you said he was doing. And it's like, bro, the way that she set those questions up, oh, bro, I knew that I was fucking fried, man. I knew it was done. It was a wrap. There was nothing I could have ever fucking possibly said after she was done her line of questioning that I could have pulled any fucking bullshit out of my ass that would have made any sense or made me not look like a fucking clown. So that lesson right there was probably the biggest, most important one that I learned out of all of them, which was the way that prosecutors in court, the way that they phrase their questioning, the way that they tell a story, the way that they ask questions and set up the answers to ask another question, to basically create this line of proof that either, defends or, tries to attack the other person's story or perspective. Just like, I can't fully describe to you in detail the things that I like, the exact details of what I pulled from that, but it was basically just what I explained, where it's like how they set the questions up to basically make you look guilty as fuck. So understanding that that's how the court system works, understanding that that's how all of those things happen. And I've been to court a couple times for some other lame, dumb shit before, but never to the point where it had gone to this level where there's like a prosecutor and a judge and all this other shit, right? So getting a little bit of a taste for that in a situation which fortunately was not that serious over a fucking speeding ticket, it really gave me some insight into how, basically what I took from that shit was like, bro, if I'm ever in a situation legally where there's something serious on the line, get a fucking lawyer. get a lawyer and get a good one, because bro, if they don't know exactly how to say things, what to say, how to fucking frame the case, how to build the case, how to set the story, oh man, you are, if it's you defending yourself against someone like the prosecutor I was facing that knew what the fuck she was doing, oh bro, you are going to get your fucking ass handed to you, just like I did. I got served on a golden platter, bro. That judge had no choice, even if he liked me, even if he fucking felt bad for me, based on the evidence that was presented and the way the story was told and the facts and the questioning that the prosecutor said. Dude, there was no way that the judge couldn't look like a fucking bozo if he said that I was not guilty, right? So that was the biggest thing that I learned from the whole ordeal, which was like, man, if you need representation legally, it better be by someone who is extremely fucking professional. And regardless of what case or how big the consequences of it are, buying the best lawyer money can fucking buy, or that you can afford to buy, is probably worth it. So God forbid, you know, hopefully I never end up in a situation where I need one. But another thing that I learned is like, damn, it'd be nice to know a couple good lawyers, bro, just in case, because holy shit, bro, knowing someone that can do what she did to me but for me and have it work out the other way, that is fucking powerful, bro. So that is probably the biggest lesson that I learned from this whole shit. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that little story time. A little bit more of a lighthearted video for you, kind of just running through some experiences from life recently I figured I would share. Hopefully you guys found that entertaining at the very least. If you made it to the end of the video, you know the deal. You're a real one. I appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We got more bangers coming very, very soon. Also, if you guys want to support me and support yourself, I put together a website. On the website, you can find more content. I update it basically every single day. And also I have a resources tab on the website where you can look at all the things that I talk about in the videos, all the tools, the clothes, the books, the everything that I've used on my self-improvement journey to help me get to where I am now. Some things that I found to be extremely life-changing, extremely valuable. And I haven't really talked about it in videos so far, but you know, as far as like increasing your knowledge, improving your health, your testosterone if you're a man especially, all the supplements that I take, my health routine, the books that I read, all that stuff I've collected and compiled because I figured it'd be useful to just be able to hand that off to you guys. So if you want to check that stuff out, I'll have a link in the description. You can check out the resources tab of my website, and all the stuff that I use every day will be listed there for you guys to check out as well. So thank you for reaching the end of the video. I love you guys. Stay strong, stay blessed, stay dangerous. Get a lawyer, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace.